G'day, welcome to DynaPoll. This video's purpose is basically to give you a quick rundown of the features of the site. If you want to understand what a DynaPoll poll is and how it's so much better, in our opinion, than your traditional static polls that you see out there, click here and have a look at this demonstration video or have a little read of this information here. Okay, so basically once you've registered, what you do here, pretty simple process, just register and confirm with the email that we send you. You can log in. Okay, and once you first log in, you're going to want to create a poll. So you're going to come here, create a poll, or you click here, create a poll, and it'll tell you your balance. And we give you one free poll for every 5 times you participate in a poll on the site. So when you first log in, that balance is going to be 0. It's not going to let you actually create a free poll straight away. But it'll take you a couple of seconds to quickly go here, pick a couple of polls that you're interested in, browse through the ones down the bottom here, or even just do a poll in here. So click on here, tell us about the site. Basically, there's probably 5 questions in this poll in here. I think every time you submit a vote for a question, it'll pop up with another one and so on. So you'll get through the 5 pretty quickly, and then you can come in and create a poll. So to create a poll, what's your favorite alcoholic beverage? So don't know why I haven't had any alcoholic beverage myself for about 4 months now, but when I did, beer was the one. Actually, what we just do, what's your favorite beer? That'd be better. What's your favorite beer? Set the end date. How many beers do we want to see in the final list? So the top 4 beers or something of all people's suggestions, or 5 or whatever. We'll go with 4. It's a pretty good number. And make it public so everyone can see it. I'm going to give it a tag of beer. And we're going to do a DynaPoll poll. So that's one of those ones where, what the site's all about, where people get to suggest the answers. If I did traditional, that means that once I've created it, I have to go and say what the answers are. So I'd have to list 25 different beers or something in order to give people the proper selection of options. So that's obviously not a very good idea. So better than that is use a DynaPolls. So DynaPoll poll. So we'll create the poll. There it is. So it's created, and now we it takes us to the edit page where we can make any changes if we want. So we're happy with it. So I'll come back to my DynaPoll, and now you see we've got 1 poll in our list. This is where some of the features is, and this is your sort of administration portal, if you like, for your time on DynaPoll. If we go to the home page, we'll see our polls there now, and we can click on it to vote. I'll put a quick vote in, just so my favourite beer when I was drinking was blonde. What's it called? Was pure blonde. That's probably for people overseas, they're not going to know it, but anyway. So submit that, and there we go. So favourite beer so far is pure blonde, and you can go back to my DynaPoll quickly and give you a rundown of the things. So create a poll, done. Create and manage pollinaires. So this is where you can take all your polls. You can create a pollinaire here. You fill it in, fill in these details basically, and what you're doing is you're creating a like a questionnaire, if you like, where you're joining together all your polls, and there's one easy place to go, and you actually get to specify the URL as well. So that's where you get to type it here. So you could, we could do beer, and you could have 5 or 6 different polls on beer or whatever, and join them all together. So I'm not going to demonstrate that. I'm not going to demonstrate a lot of the stuff. I'm just going to show you the features basically. But this is where you do that. And if you want to see a pollinaire in action, you saw one briefly at the beginning of this video. You just come here and check them out here. So pretty cool feature, I think. So here's some administration stuff that you can do in the My DynaPoll page. You can click here and change the date that it finishes at any time. you can make it public or private. So this one's public at the moment. If I click that, it'll make it private. If I click it again, it'll make it public. That top 4 beers, we can change that to top 5 by clicking there, or top 3, or whatever we want to do. And we can have a look at reports. So you go to report page that shows you all the answer suggestions and the current, top 4, whatever it is. You've got your poll evolution report, which gives you a timeline. You can scroll through the timeline and see how the results of the poll changed over time, which is a pretty cool feature, we think. You can also show you recent poll activity. So click there and it gives you a list of all your polls, and underneath it sort of a stream in reverse chronological order of what activity's been taking place. People suggested an answer, people voted for an answer, that sort of thing. So that's what those are. What else we got? Edit. So this is where you can come in. So if someone suggests an answer that's inappropriate or spam, for example, you can click here and mark it as spam. If it's just that, I don't know, they answered red to a question about beer, for example, it might just be an honest mistake somehow. So you could just remove it, and it won't penalise them. If you do spam, though, it'll delete the actual answer, and that IP address that suggested the answer won't be allowed to vote again on DynaPoll at all. So that's your other option. And edit, so you can edit the answer. Obviously, people suggesting answers, you don't want to edit too much. But if they didn't put the E at the end of blonde, for example, you could come in here and edit that and change it. And if your question you spelt it wrong accidentally, you can edit the question this way as well. So jump back to my DynaPoll again. This button here just takes you to Polonaise, which I showed you before. And manage your paid features. So this is where you can have a look at your balances, see how many free polls you've got. So now we've got 0, so we have to go and do some more votes on some other polls to get that back up if we want to create another poll. It also shows you down the bottom here, how your polls are tracking against the constraints for that poll type. So for free polls, I think it's 100 votes you're allowed for the lifetime of the poll, or 1,000 views. So this gives you an idea of how you're tracking, and you can see it quickly and easily visually by virtue of the fact that these are green, which is good, and if it starts getting towards the limit, that'll change to red. You can purchase polls as well. You come in here and for a very reasonable cost, you can obviously purchase a standard poll, or 5 of them. And I'll let you read through the features yourself, but basically these are the different polls that you can purchase. And featured days is where you can feature your poll on the front page of the site, and it's a really straightforward process. Basically, click on the buy this button, and it takes you to PayPal, and you just you literally just you come in here and basically put in your PayPal details, or do it by credit card or whatever, and it'll do the payment and take you back to this page. Give you a little message to say it's confirmed, and the polls will show up straight away automatically. And if it doesn't, wait a couple of seconds and refresh the page, and it should happen. You'll also get an emailed receipt for that as well. So that's that. So you can do those as a purchase. Manage your poll adverts. This is where you can come and create an advert, an ad link. So basically, you give it a link name, like your website's name and your website's address, for example. You can create a blurb as well. So you can sort of say a blurb, your website name here, and a little blurb, a short blurb about what is your website. And then you can put that alongside your poll on this site, so that when people are looking at polls, if I go find one, for example, what's your favourite chocolate bar? It's probably been voted on by me tonight. I think it has actually, so I won't bother going there. But basically, on the actual poll form itself, it'll show up. Actually, I can show you where that is. If we just go to manage paid features, manage poll ads, there's a little click here to see an example of what it looks like. So basically you see the advert here is the ad blurb name, that's the ad blurb content, and that's the ad link. So it basically gives you opportunity to, if you have an interesting poll on the site, to send people to your website to have a look at something else of yours. Book your featured days. This is where you book in days where you want to feature your poll. Like if I want what's your favourite beer to be featured, I'm going to buy some featured days like I showed you back here. And I can come here and I can book it in for any day in the future. So that'll mean that they show up here or here. So that's a quick rundown basically of DynaPoll, how it works, and the features that we give you to manage your polls and report on the results. Hope you like it, and hope you sign up and create lots of polls. See ya.